You guys already know who it is. Gaming with Pain. Hello everyone and welcome back to Gaming with Pain. My name is Kyle. This is Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. This is my Chocobo Lily and my gladiator Takashi Atushiba, and they're both fantastic together. Now, what I'm going to try to show you, or I guess I'm going to more be telling you, what I'm going to tell you today is how to get your very own Chocobo, especially if you're just starting this game. So, in this game, you start out as any given class and any given faction. So you would choose your character and you would have a starting area. Each starting area has its own grand company, which is where you are provided with a Chocobo. Now, in order to get there, you're going to have to take a few, it's going to take you a little while, if you're just starting out especially. You just follow your main quest line. This little fiery symbol here allows you to know that this is the main quest line and this is what you need to follow in order to get your Chocobo. Now, I do suggest that you take into consideration all of the other quests that are surrounding your main quest line, and if you do want to level up faster, I suggest doing fates. Fates are, fates are the little circular things on the map, which I can't seem to find one right now. There's not one going on, but they are here we go. They are these on your map, and they generally have a level I won't say a level requirement, but a suggested level to complete them, and they will provide you with extra bonus experience if you are in a group. Now, I think that, here's one that just sprung up, but you can complete them for company seals after you get into a grand company. Now, this is not to be confused with a free company, which is technically the guild that you have when you are on, or when you're in Final Fantasy XIV. So your free company is your guild, the people you play with. It has a free company leader, etc. And then you have a grand company, which is like I said before, the place to get your Chocobo. There are 3 grand companies. I think one of them is Maelstrom. This I have chosen is the Twin Adder. And the reason I've chose Twin Adder is because I like Gridania, which is the woodland area. And as you can see, it's dark right now and just starting to get light. One of the very wonderful things about this game is that there is a day and night cycle. So if you do appreciate small things like that in the game, like I do, this might be a good game for you to pick up and check out. She's only level 25, and I'm actually going for the Paladin quest line. And if we go to the character screen, you can look at the classes, the Gladiator here and the Conjurer here. Now, in order to be a Paladin, you have to be a level 30 Gladiator and a level 15 Conjurer, or at least is what I've been led to believe. So get both of those to that point, and then you will open up the side quest. I'm going to try to not make this video too long, but let's go ahead and just run around a little bit. So you see there's a significant speed increase when riding a Chocobo, and she is quite wonderful. I really do, and I've been a fan of Final Fantasy since Final Fantasy III, and really I'll have to say my favorite Final Fantasy game in the series is going to be Final Fantasy VIII. But in this game's respect, and out of respect for it and MMOs alike, they are completely different games. They're played differently. They're from a different time. They appeal to different people. And as technology has increased and gotten better, you kind of have to be more allowing of what's new and what's available and what may be reminiscent, or even furthermore, what may be nostalgic for you. And Final Fantasy, it's nostalgia. I've spent, I think a total of 375 hours on Final Fantasy VII. And it wasn't my most favorite game, but I spent the time because I wanted to breed the black Chocobo, which I don't know if is available in this game, but it would be really cool to see if they did implement something like this. There is, however, the mechs from Final Fantasies 3, 5, and 6, I believe. They are they look, I don't have one, so I can't obviously show you, but the mech is really cool and is probably about 7 times the size of this Chocobo that I'm riding here. So we can go into Gridania, and you unfortunately can't be mounted while you're in Gridania, or any other major city for that matter. And I just figured that out. But when you do get with your Grand Company, you will need to run fates, do quests, and pretty much everything else that comes along with it is just getting the 2,000 company seals is what it costs for the Chocobo with the Twin Adder. I don't think there's probably very little variance between the Twin Adder and any other given Grand Company. So you do have the ability to customize your character to even this point. I love red and black. Those are my two favorite colors together. So her armor did not look like this when I initially got it. Her headpiece, of course, did, but I had to replace it because that one was better. But I've dyed this armor red, and it looks really good, and she's got a beautiful tail. She has a beautiful Mikote, is the race. They are cat-like, and if you scroll way in and you look at those little green eyeballs of hers, they look like kitty cat eyes, or reptilian eyes, if you will. I'm going to take the Aethernet shard to the Aetheryte Plaza, and I'll show you where the Twin Adder Grand Company is. Now, you don't necessarily get into the Grand Company by just running up there and say, hey, I want to join, like all the rest of the parts or the guilds that you join, as far as the Gladiators Guild, the Conjurers Guild. They all are separated into guilds. You actually have to go through the main storyline. You'll get to a certain point where you're allowed to choose from one of 3. Now, before you do choose, I would suggest going and doing just a little bit of research on exactly what it is you're looking for and what style appeals to you. And from what I have heard from players in-game and outside of, is that it doesn't necessarily matter which Grand Company you choose. It just matters on the style of armor that they give you and the style of Chocobo symbol. Well, I guess it's not the style of Chocobo because it's just this banner that hangs on the side, and then the other banners just hang on the side from Ul'dah, Limsa Lominsa, and I say Lominsa, but that's probably wrong. And, of course, New Gridania, or Gridania as it is. So we'll go ahead and close the map. This is where you would come to talk to your your quartermaster for any said given Grand Company, sorry. And you rank up via getting these seals, and you can buy your very own Chocobo whistle, or your voucher for your Chocobo. And you get to name it. Like I said, mine's name is Lily. And I do have a bite-sized pudding that I stole from my free company. I didn't steal it. It was in this free company chest, so I decided to grab it. And he's just absolutely wonderful. He reminds me of a lot of the globs from other Final Fantasy games. I also have this toy airship, which is pretty cool. And, hey, I'm trying to film a video here, bud, so... Oh, he's changing armor. Wow, he's got a pretty neat weapon. Oh, wow. Very cool. See, as you can see in real time, he's changing his armor set, which is pretty cool. So, things that I want to recap. In order to get your Chocobo, stay on the main quest line. It is the fastest way to get your Chocobo, as well as running fates. And fates are the temporary instances that run all over the map, and you can just basically run into them and complete them, and hopefully for your benefit and your sake you would complete them with a party for even more experience, and furthermore even more grand seals that you get for your Grand Company. And beyond that, if you are aspiring to become a paladin, you will need to start either a conjurer or a gladiator, which is what I have here. She's level 25, only 5 to go for the paladin quest line to open up, and I am just a big fan of Paladins. I always have been ever since I started playing Dungeons and Dragons tabletop back in the day. So, if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to just pop a comment in the description below. If you have any further questions that I may not be able to answer, I'll help you. I'll research them and I will give you a heads up on things that I know. And beyond that, I hope everybody's having a wonderful holiday, and I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. So, without further more, I've been Kyle. This has been Gaming with Payne on Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and goodbye.
I don't. Here we go. I don't know what to say. Here we go. I don't know what to say.
Grilled cheesin'.
I don't know what to say.
Grilled cheesin'.
It's too much pressure, man. It's too much pressure.
Fuck your flying machines. KPVP.